Hello, this is Reporter Television and I am Bethel Michael with the news. Ethiopia has won its bid to become a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council after gaining 185 votes out of the 190 which was voted in the UN General Assembly meeting held yesterday. Ethiopia started its campaign for the non-permanent membership a month ahead of the election and has been the only country to stand in the position in Africa. Accordingly, Ethiopia has gained the endorsement of AU as early as January and solidified its campaign for the position. Ethiopia will assume its seat at the UNSC starting from the beginning of next year and will serve as a member to the Council for the coming 2 years. Before this, Ethiopia served as a non-permanent member in the UNSC twice during the time of Derg and once during the time of the Emperor. First, it was in the 1967-68 period, and the second one was during the time of Derg 1989-19 term. Ethiopia ran a campaign which promised to campaign the cause of developing countries, both in Africa and the rest of the world. According to Tedros Adhanom, Foreign Minister of Ethiopia, the country's engagement in peace and security area, and more specifically, its strong engagement in the fight against terrorism across the continent have resulted in the gaining range of support in Africa. According to diplomatic sources, countries like US, UK, France, Germany, and Canada have played a greater role in mobilizing support for Ethiopia and eventually securing the non-permanent membership. On the other hand, 5 nations which have not voted for Ethiopia include Eritrea, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Senegal. The same sources indicate that apart from Eritrea, there is a huge deal of diplomatic work that needs to be done following the votes. Nevertheless, they also said that the election as a non-permanent member of the UNSC will definitely increase the nation's political clout and its influence in its region. The UNSCE is a UN body that holds a critical power in global security matters. It is made up of 5 permanent members with the veto power: US, UK, France, Russia, and China, and other 10 non-permanent members which rotate every 2 years. The Minister of Defense, Siraj Fargesa, told MPs yesterday that the Ethiopian Defense Forces are ready and capable to execute any measure that the parliament deems necessary regarding the conflict with Eritrea. The minister said this while presenting his ministry's report for the current fiscal year in the House of People's Representative. According to the minister, following its repeated provocation, the Ethiopian Defense Force have responded proportionally to the repeated provocation that was coming from the Eritrean regime. The minister also told the House that the latest military move has reassured Ethiopia that its defense forces has the readiness and capacity to take any measure it deemed necessary. In this regard, Siraj told MPs that his forces are ready to execute the orders of the House. Siraj said, "We have given the Eritrean regime something to worry about," and assured the House that his forces will continue to make proportional measures as the provocation and threat continues to evolve. However, MPs did not look to be content with the proportional retaliatory measures that the defense forces are taking. Adhana Haile, MP and former State Minister for Education, asked the minister how long Ethiopia will be on retaliatory seat and restrict its action only to responding to provocation by the Eritrean regime. Adhana argued that removing the rogue leadership of Eritrea is the definition of proportional measures as far as Ethiopia is concerned. He said, "We have to stop taking proportional retaliatory measures at some point." Siraj responded that it is in the interest of Ethiopia not to get engaged in a full-fledged war at this time, since priority should be given to advancing development and eradicating poverty. Nevertheless, the minister reiterated that defense forces still stand ready and able to execute direction that is given by the House of People's Representative. That was all for today. Thank you for watching. For detailed information and exclusive interviews, make sure to go to our website, thereporterethiopia.com.